normal for a soul to wander the theater for centuries without questioning their existence or reason for being there. It's simply what's natural for them.
You know what, Mr. Brainiac? I think you might actually be right after all. I'm trying to remember it. Even though my head feels like it's going to explode, I think it's all coming back to me. I was the one who didn't want to remember my own death, so I forced myself to forget.
Well, I'm sure those are painful memories.
My lady and I snuck out to go on a date one day. We bought tickets for the theater. It wasn't really my thing, but I was just happy to be together. All of a sudden, a group of people burst into the theater, shouting for all the water rats to get out, performers and audience members included. It was clear the conflict between humans and Fae had reached a boiling point. This time, the extremists were even coming after the water rats who had nothing to do with the war. I thought I could pull one over them, so I took off my jacket, draped it over my leg, and tried to sneak out amid the chaos. But I got caught. They started shouting, calling me a traitor to humanity. But I was going to do whatever it took to buy her chance to escape, no matter how many people stood in my way. I had to, both as her bodyguard and out of love.
It's all right, friend. You can stop there if you want. You don't need to dig all that up again.
It's just... Even now, I'm still struggling to accept the truth. How could I be dead? I'm sorry, everyone. If I'd known I was a dead man walking, I wouldn't have dragged you down with me. If I'm the cause of all this death, then punish me however you see fit.
But, Mr. Shrimp...
No. I refuse to be a burden. I know what I have to do. You said I've been wandering the theater for centuries, right? I guess it's high time I got a breath of fresh air. Out there, I mean. I'll leave this place and take all this death with me. Go out on my own terms.
Mr. Shram, I'm sure we can figure out a different course of action.
My good sir, we both know I'm not supposed to be here. I should have accepted my death long ago. One way or another, this has to end. Unless you're saying this goes against another one of your military principles somehow.
No, I'm speaking on a personal level this time.
Let it go, man. Oh, wait. One last thing. Miss Water, my lover. Her name was Litia. Litia Ozarova. Do you know what happened to her?
Ozarova. Oh, Auntie Ozarova. That's what we all called her. I remember her as a very kind elder. She had a bunch of kids, too.
I'm so glad she survived. And she had lots of kids? Good. That's good.
Thousands of eggs.
I could hardly expect her to stay single just because of what happened to me, right? As long as she went on to be happy, that's all that matters. Besides, I'm dead. My soul's been wandering around here for so long because I was worried about her. But now, I can go without regret. There's no need to see me off, my friends. I've enjoyed our time together over these past few days. Perhaps we'll meet again in the next life.
Take care, my man.
I know Mr. Shram is already dead, but I still feel so sad.
Death is cruel, no matter how we might try to make sense of it.
So, Was the conflict between Fae and humans really that bad back then? I was only little, so I don't remember much. It's terrible to think that so many innocent people had their lives turned upside down. Even the historical records about that time period don't say much about it. All people know is that the Tsaritsa founded the Fatui, drove out most of the Fae aristocracy without explanation, then used her terrifying power to suppress the humans.
It seems to me like the Tsaritsa chose to make herself the enemy. She downplayed the conflict, directing whatever animosity both sides had for each other at herself instead. That's also why, despite how brutal the conflict
a bunch of
was
Fae
at the
were
time,
still displaced,
there
though.
hasn't been much lingering tension between humans and Fae since. Things have been fairly harmonious for the past few centuries.
Yeah, that's easy to say when you kicked them all out of their homes.
So, the Tsaritsa banished the Fae to protect the Fae living in the city? She offered herself up to be hated in exchange for peace.
Please don't try and sane wash what she did. She literally exiled you guys. When she could have, stood up for you like Nouvelette did for the Melusines.
Maybe it's
She's not a good
as
person.
It sounds. I don't think Her Majesty is too concerned if mortals hate her or not. And besides, there are very few who truly do.
All this time, I had no idea.
All right. If Mitia's theory is correct, then I think we can consider this matter settled. Let's all take a break.
Ugh, if only this blasted storm wasn't still raging on.
Well, at least it seems like Mr. Shrimp stayed optimistic until the end. The information he revealed, it's given me a lot to think about.
Do I get to do the stairs again?
Looks like now we can just rest until the snowstorm stops. I still can't believe Shram turned out to be a ghost who'd been in the theater for hundreds of years. To think he was dead this whole time. What a strange turn of events.
Knock, knock. Hmm? Knock, knock.
You know the doors are closed, right? You don't have to knock.
Think of it as a signal then. When I'm entering someone else's room and I knock, I'm here as they're dead. If I don't knock, it's Lelek. Thanks.
So, why did you come to find me? Is there something I can help with?
Voyanitsa said you knew about my secret identity from the start. But when everyone was discussing who Lelek could be, you were worried that revealing what you knew would be unfair to me. So you kept it to yourself, right? Yes. I'm extremely grateful for that.
It's nothing. I mean, you didn't hold with half of the Senora against me, so I should thank you for that as well.
Actually, there's something else as well. I found myself in a situation similar to the one you were in when you helped conceal my identity. So I thought I'd come and ask you for advice. It's about Mitia. Before all of this, the last time I saw him, he was dead. As I'm sure you know, my goal as Lelek was to stop Project Stuzha. Well, when I found out the tech lead for the experiment behind Project Stuzha was Mitia, I immediately started planning to track him down and threaten him to back out. I often saw him around the theater, but I soon concluded that making my move there would risk exposing my identity. So I decided to infiltrate the Armory Palace and go directly to his lab. That way, the threat will be much more effective. Well, I suppose there was a bit of luck involved. But I am of the Twos, so I already had some familiarity with the building's layout. But when I finally made it to his lab, Mitya seemed to be dead. I checked his breathing and his pulse. He had no vital signs whatsoever. I'm certain of that. I thought maybe another anti-Project Stuja activist had beaten me to it, and chosen a much more brutal method. So I made myself scarce.
So he's a
That's why
fake
you were so
person?
on guard around Mitya that first night here.
Yes. When I saw him sitting
Like
in the
Albedo?
audience during the performance, I could barely contain the shock. To me, it was a miracle. Somehow, he'd come back from the dead. But then, the murders started happening, and things got so complicated that it wasn't really at the front of my mind. That is, until Mitya himself said there must be a dead person among us. Then, I couldn't ignore it any longer.
And yet, you thought that bringing it up right away would single Mitya out. Just like when everyone was suspecting Lelek.
Exactly. I thought there could be something I was missing. Besides, we soon figured out that Mr. Schramm was a ghost, and we knew there was only one extra person, so we thought he had to be the one.
But now it seems like there's another candidate. I understand why you kept it to yourself. There was so much information being thrown around during that discussion. Bringing up Mitya would have just introduced more confusion.
So, what do you think we should do?
Let me confirm one thing first. When was it that you found Mitya dead?
Around a week ago, sometime in the afternoon.
A week ago? That's earlier than I thought. I saw him just a few days ago at a restaurant. That definitely would have been after you found him dead. He seemed completely normal to me. Chatting with Wojciech, trying to avoid Valeri.
So he was definitely alive on that day. Huh. Well, all I can say is I know what I saw.
Here's a thought. The reason we even suspected a dead person could be among us was because of the problem with the theater's ley lines. But Mitya's death happened inside the Armory Palace. The ley line issue affecting the theater shouldn't reach that far.
You're right. I guess it doesn't fit the profile of the person we were searching for.
I think the chances of it being him are very low. Surely he can't have died for real in the Armory Palace.
Unless what?
Unless he really did come back from the dead.
You're right. Do you think we need to disclose this to the others?
Huh, what's this? A private meet and greet? Where do I line up?
That's not what's going on here.
Well, I was just making the rounds. Thought I'd try to lighten the mood a bit. Bodianita's handing out food if you're hungry.
You're so suspicious, dude. Come on. Are you Albedo's secret brother? Did you get a new appearance? Is that you, Citrinitas?
What is going on with this storm? Could it be connected to that monster that just arrived in Snezniah?
I almost hope it is. Her Majesty the Tsaritsa left to vanquish that beast herself. We just need to wait for her triumphant return.
Do you think people still feel the cold after they die? I'm wondering about Shram. Oh, maybe we should have given him a coat before he went out there.
Death itself is cold, isn't it? I'm sure the storm will embrace him.
Well, I hope he has a safe journey.